Hey, let me remind you about what happened last time on the Incorrigible party.
Waking to find the elders gone, Igna is furious and quick to accuse Shaft, Falzern, and Mia in playing their part in the escape. A heated rowboat ride to the Pisces port from the anchored Paladin warship results in Shikara putting Igna in his place, reminding him of his station within the coven. Sending Kula and Igna on their way, and taking Hulsa with them, the party, Dreg and Mullen, arrive at the Golden Ichor to meet with Cambel.
And now, on with our show.
The lineup's not very long, but takes them down kind of around this corner, and they're basically depositing the buckets into a larger container that's on the back of a wagon, a hitched up wagon. And you see there's more than just one wagon there. There's maybe 3 or 4 of them. One which like it's just being fully filled, and they're sealing up this large vat. It's kind of a oversized barrel basically set on the back of this wagon, and the driver just kind of takes off with it and heads down out of the city.
So where are they taking the barrels? I'm going to ask whoever it is there that seems to be loading these things up.
Well, what do you mean? We've been doing this for days. I guess you aren't from around here. We're
just got in on a boat.
Fixing the tainted waters. So we just got to take them to the flooded lake down there and just pour them in. I don't know. Campbell came up with it.
And just makes the black stuff go away?
Yeah, it seems to just completely neutralize it.
Oh, wow.
That is quite fascinating. Do any of you know exactly what's in this solution that our friend Campbell is making?
Oh, he's your friend. I would suggest just asking him then.
No, that's my intent. I just had such a brief amount of time to speak with him. I was wondering if perhaps someone else might know as well.
Yeah, so 3 days worth. How many days left, do you think? Did he have a guess for how many buckets you got to put in the lake?
I don't know. The water's looking not quite swimmable. I wouldn't dive in yet, but you can almost see the bottom in some of the shallower areas now.
Wow.
How come nobody's been repairing the dock since the Kraken thing?
Is it safe to go in the water yet?
Oh yeah, we haven't had time to tell the mayor. We killed the Kraken. Kraken's dead.
You're Campbell's friends.
That's why we didn't know what was going on. We just
clues into like who you are. As if you recall when you caught the boat to Heraclon, like it was in this big town meeting with the mayor and all that stuff, right? Down at the docks.
Okay, so we must not have told them that we defeated the Kraken. Makes sense why you were scared to go near the water.
Well, I mean, we started repairs, but this kind of took precedent. The whole city's kind of pitching in here.
Yeah, that makes sense. You wouldn't be wanting to take boats out in that kind of Kraken-infested waters anyway. But yeah, we'll make sure the authorities know that problem is dealt with.
Wow, I don't know what to say. He's almost like in awe of. I can't believe you.
Mia is smiling really big.
Defeated a full-grown, fully powered Kraken. I can't believe it.
Yeah, it was totally adult-sized and everything. And Mia's just grinning.
Well,
He's
mostly
so impressed.
adult-sized.
Yeah, Falzern. It was good. It was good, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Look, next time we're all at the Jack deal. A round's on me. 2 rounds. 2 rounds around me.
Cool.
Yeah, sounds good. Well, if you're not going to give him an autograph or anything, Mia, let's get going.
Do you want an autograph?
Would you sign my cleavage?
I'm so glad you said that. I was thinking it.
Sure. Man boobs is a first. All right.
They're called pecs.
Okay.
Or moobs.
Mia rubs some dirt on like the end of her hammer that has like the seal of Thor on it, and just kind of like taps the seal of Thor onto like his pec.
You see, it's almost like, rubbing your feet on the carpet and like static shocking something. He gets a shock from your hammer. Oh!
Sorry, I forgot.
Oh, I think you fixed my arrhythmia. Oh my goodness.
Oh, you're welcome. Thor is a great god. He does many great things. Praise Thor.
I think I would like to hear more about this store. Maybe when I get you that drink.
Sure.
Yeah. We should probably go tell the mayor so those guys can, start planning how to fix the
I
city.
have a feeling Shikara is gonna take a long time.
Me too. Probably a whole episode.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Well, let's go back to Shikara then and boot you all off, Mike.
I'll look to Hulsa. Give us a moment, please.
Of course, she'll nod and she'll step out of this back room back into the main storefront, where she joins Dreg and Mullen.
Campbell, I am overjoyed to hear you have a solution to the black goo.
Yes, the gifts from Dendar. Wonderful. They unlocked it for me. Those petals, those flowers.
A tear rolls down her cheek. Oh, Campbell, what have we done?
What is wrong? As he, embraces you, tries to wipe away your tear. What do you mean?
So much has happened, Campbell.
No. And he begins to cry, seeing that you're crying. Why are we crying? What is happening?
Dendar. It was Isabella Good. She was the one that sent the box. She was the one that gave us this power.
What do you mean? Dendar does not look down upon us?
Dendar, according to Isabella, does not even know who we are or that we exist. Isabella gets her power through Dendar. And you, through her.
My goodness. This is very cry-worthy, I must say. This... but look at what I've accomplished, even if it does not come from Dendar. There's good in it.
That is what I keep trying to convince myself. Oh, Campbell, I have done things.
I must admit that in my pursuits, I've done some things too.
I can feel this power changing me. I am not the person you knew before.
Well, you look and you sound like the Shikara I know.
Mayhaps on the outside.
No, Shikara, I can tell. You look at how you feel now. You are still my friend.
I will always be your friend, Campbell. No matter what happens next.
What do we do now?
I agreed to join the coven. Isabella's coven,
A coven?
of which you are a part.
My goodness. This is bad.
Entering this pact as we did placed us in this coven. I have risen. I have accepted a position as one of the three leaders of the coven. You currently still are beholden to Isabella through your pact. I can change it so that your power will come through me instead of her. I can change it so that you are not directly tied to her. Your fate would be in my hands instead. Do you trust me?
Of course, I trust you with my life.
That is good to hear. Isabella, I do not feel she always has the best intentions for those under her. Hulsa is directly under her.
I was going to inquire She looks forlorn.
It was Isabella that placed that thing in her forehead. I would never do that to you, Campbell. I would never.
What does it do?
I am not entirely sure. I know Falzarin had one. Falzarin was tied to Isabella in the same way, and she was able to hurt him and control him with it.
Does he still have these ties?
No, it was removed.
So we can free Hulsa?
If she desires. I do not know that she does.
Aye, but could she turn on you? Will she respect your position?
There are others that came back to the mainland with us. Others under Isabella, who have, as Chef said, put me in a pissy mood. They have challenged my authority.
Does that mean you will have trouble with Isabella?
I do not trust Isabella. My fate is now linked to hers. I am walking a fine line between her and the others. We do still get our powers from Dendar. The eyes of Dendar had been in Samuel Cultus's possession for some time. Isabella seeks to free the eyes, thereby freeing Dendar. If this happens, Isabella believes that Dendar will, for lack of better words, cleanse this world, the only survivors being those faithful to Dendar.
My goodness, that sounds terrible.
Yes, I do not feel I can allow this to happen, and yet I do not think I can stop it.
What if the Samuel does not give Isabella the eyes?
He has promised her the eyes in exchange for parts of the armor of Kalar. Armor that is incredibly powerful, that Cultus wants to use against the Nyogi. Do you know of them?
I do not believe we've spoken of these beings before. The last few days they have been a bit of a blur.
The Nyogi come from outer space. They have landed here in desire to enslave all of Aspara. They infest the Volgareg Mountains, which is where one of the pieces of the armor of Kalar lies, and where we must next travel. I wanted to see you first, to make sure you were safe, in case I did not return.
He smiles at that. Well, I am very happy to see you, always, Shikara. These Yogi, this means that paladins are good, Isabella bad. To simplify these things.
It is not that simple. Isabella is bad. The paladins, Samuel Cultus, seeks to destroy the Nyogi, and that is good. I fear what will happen, what he will do with the immense power he wields once the Nyogi are gone. I do not trust him either.
I do not know what to say. This is very overwhelming.
Yes, it is a lot, isn't it? And Shikara chuckles.
I I do not have any answers. Perhaps we should deal with what we can at the moment. I feel quite poorly for Hulsa. I do not wish these things to happen to either one of us. If we can help her, we must.
With her aid, I can make it so that you are no longer directly tied to Isabella. And then, when we leave, if I could leave her here with you, to keep her safe from the Nyogi, mayhaps you could talk to her? She has been through a lot. She had 2 siblings who both gave their life for Isabella. I do not know what she has been thinking. Mayhaps we call her in and we talk to her, and we do the ritual to tie you to me.
Yes.
Hulsa!
Hulsa enters the back room once more.
Hulsa, please, tell us what to do to have Campbell be tied to me instead of Isabella.
She nods, and you see she kind of makes like a square with her fingers in the air.
Oh, Campbell, the box, where is it?
Ah, the box, yes, of course, I have it right here. And he, shuffles around in a corner here and pulls up this like solid cube, right? This sapphire cube after it had sealed over once the 2 of you had used it. What do we do with this?
I'll just look at Hulsa.
Hulsa tentatively grabs a hold of your wrist, right? And then kind of turns your arm over, pointing to the brands on your arm.
Yes, my brand. And I'll pull it out of my bag.
And she kind of, motions to the box. Like, use your brand. Do something with this. It's difficult for her to mime.
Do I need to heat it?
Hulsa, she kind of stops for a second. She kind of gives a bit of a shrug.
Better safe than sorry. And I will flame breath it.
Okay.
And warm it up a bit. And touch the top, put it to the top of the box.
And as you apply it, it begins to sizzle like you were applying it to flesh. Like, not a reaction, a heat to a precious stone. And it leaves, of course, your family sigil, right? It's your personal sigil, right?
Personal sigil, but it's been changed by Dendar.
With like a symbol of Dendar. And you see that the box, a seam, it reforms, and the 2 keyholes reform, and it's as if, other than the marking you've now put onto it, the first time you've seen this box. Wunderbar!
I will open the box.
Inside there are 2 sapphire keys.
I'll pull them out. Look at Campbell. Look at Hulsa. Look back at Campbell. Are you sure? You are certain?
If it is a choice between you, Shikara, and Isabella, that is no choice at all. And he puts his hand out for the key.
Hand it to him and close the box.
He takes it back from you, and just like he did before, he inserts it, twists it clockwise, and you see like his eyes kind of glaze over, and he maintains a hold on the box, right? But his shoulders kind of slump and go limp, right? And he just almost like he's catatonic, kind of reminiscent of Grimby's feeble mind condition going through your head, probably, right? And he, a few seconds pass and he shakes it off and comes to, and then opens the lid. And what would you say is something that would represent your friendship, right? Your connection between yourself and Campbell? Like, if you were to have to epitomize it into like a totem, what do you think that would be represented as?
I think since we first started out trying to discover what the black goo is, and that was essentially how we met, it would be a vial.
Okay. I like that. I like that a lot. So yeah, he opens it and he reaches inside and he pulls out it's blue. It looks like it's made of sapphire, similar to the box. But yes, this vial with this, a sapphire stopper. My goodness, this is wonderful. Shikara, it feels good in my hand. I do not know how to describe.
Do you mind me asking, what did you see?
Well, I saw you. You were standing there. Many people around you at your feet. Seems they were connected to you. I wanted that connection. I was drawn to it. And you've turned to me. You've picked me out amongst all of these people. And you pulled me up and took my hand, and I woke up.
I'll take his hand. I will always choose you, Campbell.
Oh, Shikara, I do value you so very much, and our friendship.
And I you.
And the keyhole that he used in the box seals over.
And the other key and the keyhole are still there?
They are, yep.
I look to Hulsa. Do I use the other key?
She shakes her head. And she kind of pulls out... she has like this small little notebook, right? That this is kind of what she's been writing into. And kind of like a miniature little quill, right? It has its own little ink reserve, so it's like this medieval pen, basically. And she kind of writes, and she says, "You are already connected. The connection is to be forged for others."
All right, and I'll pocket the key, put it in my bag. Hulsa, I wish for you to stay here with Campbell when we go to Drakal. I feel it would be too dangerous for you.
She will nod, and she just begins to scribble. What of Isabella?
What do you mean?
Can you protect me from her?
Can we do the same as I did with Campbell for you? So you will be connected to me instead of her?
She thinks for a second, and, her hand moves up to her forehead Juliet. And she shakes her head, kind of motioning to it.
I see. There is a ritual to remove the bond, but it is in a book that Falzarin has, and potentially deadly. And I have never performed it myself, nor seen it. What Isabella did to sever her link with Falzarin nearly killed him, and it was not the ritual. I will see what I can do for you. I do not know. The bond she had with Falzarin would have eventually killed him. She could control him. Is it the same for you?
Scribbles again. Her control is exerted. The slow death I experience under it is worth the risk of a quick one.
Campbell, if I get this book, this ritual from Falzarin, do you promise you will look into it?
Of course.
And that is done. Hulsa, I will do what I can for you.
She puts a hand on your arm to stay you for a second and writes again. If we are successful I fear Isabella will be angered.
Would she know it was me? Can she sense what is going on through you?
I do not know, but who else would have the power to do this?
Then I will deal with Isabella when that time comes.
She looks thoughtful, and her eyes are they start to kind of well up a little bit. Do not risk everything for me.
If I was not to risk everything for every life, I would be even more ashamed of myself than I am now. Every person is worthy. Every person deserves to be fought for. I take the power of Dendar to do good. I am trying to not let it change me. I am hoping you and Campbell and Mia and Falzarin and even Shaft will keep me grounded and doing what is right.
She begins to cry and just writes, I want to be good.
I start to cry too.
Campbell will also start to cry.
Group hug.
Hulsa will take your hand if you'll allow her and just kind of give it a squeeze.
I'll squeeze it back. I must see if I can find the others. We have much to do. And I'll walk out.
Mia, Shaft, and Falzarin, you are going to be on your way to the mayor or the guard or to inform about the Kraken and stuff? Are you going to wait for Shikara to be done? Or would you like to just go off and do that?
I don't think we've been to the mayor's office before, so I think we'd need to ask around and find out where it is.
Yeah, I think maybe we could just ask people who are standing in line here. I'm sure someone would be able to tell us.
Yep. And they point you in the right direction.
Now, depending on how long we're waiting here and talking to people in line, I guess we'll see if Shikara ends up coming back out and she can come with us.
Yeah, let's wait for her and pass buckets along just while we're waiting. At least Mia would. Mia would help.
Okay. And kind of just hang out outside of the Golden Anchor. You do see like Dragon Maul, and you kind of left them inside, I guess. And Draga is just kind of walking around and looking at some of like the ingredients. And you see he's kind of, handling some of the tinctures that are displayed. I used it right that time. And some of potion ingredients and stuff. And you actually kind of see like in this element, he's almost starting to revitalize. He looks like he's getting inspired by what's around him. Now that, again, he's a bit of time has passed, he's kind of in a more familiar environment. And this looks like Mullen is sticking pretty close to him. Shikara comes out of the back room and can exit the shop to rejoin you.
Falzarin,
Yes, Shikara.
I have a favor to ask.
Certainly. Ask away.
Can we step inside, please, first? And I'll look to you two and nod to shake my head to join us inside.
Yep, I walk in.
Sure, yeah, so I follow.
I'll follow.
And I'll walk straight back to the back room again.
And you all walk in and you see that Campbell, he kind of has Hulsa sat on a stool in front of him, and he's just kind of looking and inspecting her foreheadulate and kind of probing in. And she kind of winces every once in a while as he pulls a shaft and gives it a poke.
Falzarin, the book with the ritual to sever a pact.
Yes.
You still have it?
I'm pretty sure I do, right, Leland? I haven't got rid of any books I've caught along the way. My sack is quite bulging, full of books.
Oh my god.
Yes, Shikara, I certainly do. Do I understand that you're trying to remove this from Hulsa?
That is the desired outcome.
Oh,
yes.
I see. Well, yes, let me get you the book. So I reach into my bag of holding, rummage around until I pull out the book, and
Hey, dude! Do not touch me there, Hulsa.
Alamar, it was just a graze. Accidental, I assure you.
Hey, we've all but confirmed that my blood might work. Campbell, my blood might work. You might have all your ingredients right here.
I have not told Campbell what he needs.
What do you mean?
Well, let's one thing at a time.
It was part of the ritual, Falzarin, celestial blood.
So I flip through the pages to find the text that describes the ritual of catharsis and open it up and read it aloud to everyone present.
For everyone's recap, I'd like a recap of the ritual of catharsis, as this was a long time ago that we read about this. Very long time ago. In the tome Pax and Worship, there's an excerpt from the journal of Tid Lewink. And it speaks about, the difficulties in removing this and how dangerous that it may be. And it requires two components. The metaphysical. A potion must be created and consumed. The ingredients, simple, phlogiston and blood of a celestial. The second being the physical, which would be whatever form this physical connection takes, as in this case, similar to Falzarin's situation, it is this foreheadulate that Hulsa has on her body. And of course, there is some general incantations noted. Again, this is a recounting of a story almost, right? This isn't like the exact thing, as it does note that the performing of this, if done incorrectly, can be very dangerous. And this is not necessarily an instructional tutorial as to how to go about it, but proceed at your own risk, kind of thing.
Now, as I'm sure you appreciate from this text, attempting this could be unpredictable and may have consequences that are undesirable for anyone involved. I must be honest, I don't feel completely confident in trying this.
Hulsa, does this mean that you didn't want that on your forehead? This is some form of punishment? A tether?
She nods. Yes.
So I see why you sent the other two away. She's on our side, Shikara? She's with us?
Yes.
Hulsa nods as well.
Yes.
I was hoping that we could leave her here when we go to Drakal, and Campbell could perform the ritual for her.
What are you going to tell the others?
I will tell them whatever I feel they need to know. Perhaps Hulsa dies. That is what they would need to know. And she can live out her life away from all of this.
What a tangled web we've got ourselves in.
Hulsa, is the risk of this ritual worth it to you? Even if it ends in your
quick
peril.
Nod.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, like before you're even done, she is nodding, yes.
Here, Shaft. Get your dagger out.
Yeah.
Campbell,
Pulled my dagger out.
hold out
Yeah.
my right wrist.
Wait. Let me read this. Falzarin, please, hand me the book.
So I hand it over to Campbell for him to take a look at.
Yeah, and he kind of goes over, and as he's reading, his eyes kind of widen a bit as he's passing over, the notes in here. This is, I can certainly put together this cocktail. As far as the incantations, I do not know if I should be the one to do it.
You may have a point, Campbell. I think perhaps that may be my area of expertise.
Or perhaps
Mullen.
Drag.
another wizard. A more powerful wizard.
Or
Alamar.
perhaps someone
No
better.
offense.
No. Step aside.
No offense, Falzarin.
Well, you're gonna be with us, Falzarin, when they're doing this. But Drake's not going anywhere.
I would think that the more adept the spellcaster we can involve in this already perilous recipe and incantation, the better, really. If there happen to be any wizards nearby that you could enlist who are more learned than me, I think that wouldn't be a bad idea.
Shall we ask Dragon Mullen to come back?
Well, the problem with Dreg and Mullen is going to be their ability to use their magic after the wounds that they've sustained. I know that Dreg was a very powerful wizard when he had full use of his hands.
Falzarin, would you talk to Drag?
I could, certainly. Campbell, do you think there might be any other wizards around the town that you're familiar with who might be able to complete this task for you?
Well, surely we might be able to find somebody, yes. Many of my clientele are powerful magic users, yes. Is there a rush to do this? As he kind of turns to Hulsa. Hulsa is again kind of like nodding, almost like
Her
pleadingly.
life is being drained
Ah.
from her.
Falzarin, surely we can discuss this with Dreg and Mullen. Mullen has use of his
Yes,
hands.
absolutely.
Dreg could mutter the incantations. I mean, between the two of them.
If there is no somatic component and it is only verbal, I would assume Dreg would be up to the task, but
But Mullen could do both.
Also, we must leave. We do have a deadline.
So you want me to cut you?
Campbell,
my
do
arm
you
back
have a vial or some sort of container to catch?
Yes, and you see he actually produces what looks like a sapphire vial. Yes, this seems like the perfect thing to use.
How much do you need?
I do not know. The ritual is very vague. Perhaps just fill this vial to start?
All right.
Okay, I hold the vial underneath and give her a nice little poke on the bottom of her arm and slice down a little bit so it drips into the vial.
Is it red or rainbow?
Good. It's topaz. And by the way, Mia, I like the new look.
Oh, thank you. Me too.
I did not know it's a hell of a way to find out you're a celestial.
Yeah. Lots happened.
Problem is you never know where she's looking.
No pupils.
Now, where did I put? Oh yes, this phlogiston you procured from me. I hope this is enough as well.
Well, if someone's supposed to drink it, you'd think it wouldn't be like a gallon of this stuff.
This is true. It could be like trying to chug a gallon of milk. It does not go well.
Really?
It comes right up.
Oh, I've never tried.
I do not suggest it. Now, let me mix these. You will speak to Dreg?
Let's do it right now. Why do we have to be gone, Shikara? We can do it now. See what happens. Then there's no wondering.
I did not know how long the ritual would take to prepare. Or to do.
Well, quite frankly, neither do I, or if its effects will be immediate, I do not know.
Hulsa, do you want us to stay?
She will nod, yeah, and kind of, reach out and grab your arm.
I'll hold her hand.
So Falzarin will leave the rest of them and go try and find where I assume they're not far away, Dreg and Mullen.
Right, they're both just still in the storefront.
Right. Dreg, Mullen, I don't know how to say this, and forgive me for asking this of you, but I appreciate, Dreg, you yourself and perhaps Mullen are both more knowledgeable spellcasters than myself. I have a favor to ask. It's something that I've got very little knowledge with, and I wonder if your abilities might be more up to the task than my own. Would you follow me?
Dreg looks dubious, but I will see what we can do, and he'll follow you back into the back little storeroom kind of thing.
Now, Dreg, Mullen, again, I appreciate any help that you may be able to offer. This is a situation that sort of has some significance to me given my past. This here, you may know, is Hulsa. And as you may have already noticed, there's this, I don't know what I would call it, this thing embedded in her forehead.
Foreheadulate.
very similar to what was embedded in my chest, and I part my robes and pull my shirt down so that they can see the scar where the scabula was. This is a direct link to Isabella Good in Heraklion, and allows Isabella to inflict much pain and suffering on the person who has it embedded in their body. Perhaps other things as well, I don't know. It's possible that she may be able to use it to spy. Either way, Hulsa here would like assistance with it being removed, and I do have some information on a potential way to do that. So I'll grab the book from Campbell and pass it over to Dragon Mullen for them to
look over.
Yeah.
They both take a minute or two to look, and like the whole time Dragon is just like almost imperceptibly like shaking his head, and Mullen kind of puts a hand on his shoulder. Dreg speaks. I don't know. I don't know if I could do this. I don't know if I'm up to the task.
Mullen, what do you think?
I think we can do it. We together, maybe. Falzarin, really, the three of us, perhaps. Each taking a part of the ritual. Combined, it looks complicated.
Yes, I agree. I didn't feel overly confident myself trying to perform this, but you may have a good idea if we each take on certain parts of it, break it down, make it more simple, easy to concentrate on.
Shikara will say under her breath, "The power of 3."
Falzarin pees in his pants a little bit.
Dreg will nod now. That may work. Let's begin. And he'll, kind of point with the fingers he has left, kind of outlining to each of you like what your role should be, right? And what he'll kind of do is you take maybe 5 or 10 minutes to kind of work through it and just make sure everyone's on the same page as kind of stresses that like the timing of between the three of you will be very important. And we're ready to begin. Campbell hands the mixture, the metaphysical portion, to Hulsa. She takes it. You see her hand is kind of shaking a little bit.
I'll put my hand on hers and help her.
And she'll gladly accept your help. Are we ready, Falzarin, Mullen?
I think I'm as ready as I'll ever be. Let's do this.
That's it. That's all we have for you. That's our show. Be sure to follow us on the social media. Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. It's all on the website, incorrigibleparty.com. You get all kinds of information there. Incorrigible Party is sponsored by Critical Hit Design, And all ambient sounds and music during the episodes are courtesy of tabletopaudio.com. And our intro and outro music was created by Josh Jarvis. You can find him at jamesmercymusic@gmail.com. Now scram. Happy adventuring.